Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is navigate to our shared drive. Go into your student folder, and you're going to make a new folder for today's activity. Let me go back one step. Sorry, wrong folder. So you're going to go into your student folder, and then let me find someone who's not here today, and go into your Inventor folder, and we're going to make a new folder, whatever number you're on, for the first model, which is going to be 4.2.2. Okay, whoops, 4.2.2. And while I'm here, I'm going to make another folder for the second model we're going to do. So I'm going to make two new folders, and then this one's going to be 4.2.3 model. So all I simply did was went into my student folder, made two new folders in my Inventor folder, 4.2.2 and 4.2.3. Alright, now that we got a place to save, let's go ahead and get back into Inventor. And just to give you a little preview, these are the two models that we're going to end up making. If you're wondering where I got those from, I simply went to the 4.2 in Project Lead the Way. And you'll notice you've already done this one. This was our additive and subtractive model. Here is 4.2.2. So this is the first one we're going to do. One key thing I want you to be aware of, though, is that this one is in millimeters. So this is a different template. So this is actually a good review. So the first thing that I should do in Inventor is go to New. So I'm going to click the big New button. And then over here, we've talked about the different templates. So right now we're in English, which is all inches. We don't want that. We want to go to metric. And under the metric, remember we always work from the top down. We want to start with a part file. But we want to choose this standard DINIPT. So this is the part file that you're going to choose. We're in the metric template, so we're going to be using the metric system. So we're clicking on standard DINIPT. And I'm going to click on create. Alright, so if you remember, the first thing that we always do when starting a new part file, oh, and I lost my notes. Let's find someone else who did this already. Adrian, did you do your notes? Let's find out really quick. No. Alex, who did their notes? George, or Gabriel, you said you did yours. If you remember from our notes, the first thing we should do is a save as. So we started a new part file. So right away we're going to go File, Save As. So you should be doing this with me. I'm going to navigate back to my student folder. So you got to go find the V drive. So File, Save As, go to the V drive. Go back into your student folder, into the Inventor folder, and find that 4.2.2 folder we just made. Once you get in there, we can name it. You'll call it last name underscore first name, and then the name of the project, which is, and actually, you know what? I take that back. Don't do that. Just call it the name of the project. 4.2.2 model. So again, in case I lost you, I did a save as, V drive, into the student folder, into Inventor, into the new folder we made, and just gave it the proper name, and then hit save. If you notice up top, it won't say part 1 anymore. It's going to change in a second, and it'll say the name of the file, as well as down on the bottom. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to do is start a 2D sketch. So if you remember, you always got to start with a 2D sketch. And we always start with the front view, and we start at 0, 0. So I'm going to go Start 2D Sketch. Just going to click on the big button. And then I'm going to click on the front view, which is our XY plane. Once I click on that, it will bring me to the front view. You see that in the view cube. And now I can start drawing the front view of that model. So let's take a look. The front view, remember, longest dimension, most detail. So don't assume just because the way this is orientated that it's automatically this is the front view. But it just so happens that, yes, this is the front view, this shape here. So I'm going to put this point right here as my 0, 0. I'm going to go over 60, up 40, over 25, and down 15. Let's start with that. So 60, 40, 25. So I'm going to go Line Tool. We always start at 0, 0. So see the green dot? Left click once, let go of the mouse button, move your mouse directly to the left. You should see that 0 degree symbol. What that tells you is you're drawing a straight line. If I move it on accident like that, your line's going to be incorrect. We said we're going to go 60 for the width. So 60. Now, remember to zoom out, you roll your wheel backwards. To pan, you left click, hold the wheel, and move the mouse. And what did we say we're going up? Anybody remember? What was it, 40? Yeah, we're going up 40. Please make sure you see the 90 degree. That tells you you're drawing a perpendicular line. So we're going to go up 40. So I'm going to type in 40, hit enter on the keyboard. And now I'm just simply going to move my mouse to the left. This was 25. Again, notice the 90 degrees and the perpendicular symbol. So I'm going to go 25, hit enter. Notice all of my lines are purple. That's because they are all fully dimensioned so far. Now, when we're going down, we're going to go down 15. So I'm going to go down 15. So I'm going straight down 15, and I'm going to hit enter. Again, if I'm moving too fast, just look at my measurements that I have. How far over? Now, I could do some math, but I don't feel like doing math right now. It's a little too early in the morning. So I'm going to go back over here, draw this up, over, and down, and close it off. So again, we're going to go up 40, over 10, down 15. So I'm going to go up 40, over 10. Let's start with that. So I need to hit escape to get out of the line tool because I'm done drawing right there. I don't want to draw that anymore. I want to go back over here, but I have to click the line tool again. So I'm going to click on the line tool, and I'm going to start here, and I'm going to go straight up, and I'm going to go 40, and then hit enter. Then I'm going to go directly to the right. What did we say? 10. I'm going to go over 10. Make sure I see that 90 degrees, and I'm going to hit enter. And then I'm going to go down 15. Hit enter. And then now I just close it off, and I left click this green dot over here. So I'm just going to close that off and add my last line, and then I'm going to hit escape. So if you take a look, you can see all the dimensions that I used to create that sketch in case I lost you. So notice all the dimensions I have, everything's fully constrained. I see the little pin on the side. Some of you I've noticed accidentally maybe lost your model browser. So if that ever happens, remember you go to View, User Interface, and you could turn that model browser back on in case you ever lose it. View, User Interface, turn on Model. Alright. Back to sketching. I'm in the sketch. So now I'm done with the front view, so I'm going to hit Finish Sketch. I'm going to zoom out a little bit, roll my mouse wheel back. I'm going to pan by left click holding the mouse wheel to kind of bring that front and center. And then everyone, let's do a quick save. Remember to always consistently save. You want to save often. So the next thing we need to do is turn this 2D shape into a 3D object. So we're going to extrude it back 30 millimeters. So I'm going to go, remember we always work left to right. So I'm going to go to extrude. Now I want to go the other direction, so I'm going to, in the window here, I'm going to change the direction to go the other way. And we said we want to go 30. So we're going to go 30 millimeters in this direction. and I'm simply going to click OK. Notice the model browser. The sketch was consumed by the extrusion. If I expand the extrusion and I hover over the sketch, you could see the sketch that I made for that extrusion. Some people that I've noticed have been going back and trying to fix a sketch by making a new sketch. Don't do that. Just go into your history in your model browser. If you want to make a change to a sketch, like let's say I hovered over the sketch and I noticed the number was wrong, I simply just double click on that sketch. I could go in here and change a dimension if I wanted to fix it. And then when I hit finish, it would automatically update the extrusion in the 3D model. So remember, the model browser is your best friend. It shows you what you've done. I shouldn't see a list of 10, 15 sketches. It should always be extrusions or whatever with a sketch underneath. Alright, last thing for this one is to create this cutout. Now, for some reason, they don't tell you how deep it is. So we're just going to assume that this little square cutout goes all the way through. Some of the size dimensions I want to pay attention to are the 15 and the 10. That gives me the depth of the cut and the height of the cut. And then there's two location dimensions to tell me where that's at. It's this 3 millimeter and this 5 millimeter. So the first thing we're going to do is make a sketch on the right side view with a rectangle that's 15 by 10. So that's what we're going to do now. So I'm going to go Start 2D Sketch. And I'm going to click on this face. As soon as I do that, it brings me to the right side. This time, I'm going to use the rectangle tool. So I'm just going to left click once and let go with my mouse and just move. Right now, if you notice, it wants the depth. That's the one that's highlighted blue. I need to do a quick reminder. Our depth was 15 and our height is 10. So I'm going to type in 15, but then I need to make sure that I hit Tab on the keyboard. By hitting Tab, it'll go to the other dimension. So notice it switched, and then this one should be 10. So if you messed up, just hit Escape. I'll show you one more time. Rectangle, left click once, let go. Our width is going to be 15. I'm going to press Tab on the keyboard. Our height is 10. And I'm going to hit Enter. Notice my sketch is green. That's a problem. I want it to be purple. It's not fully constrained. I'm going to hit Escape on the keyboard to get out of the rectangle tool. Remember, Escape is your best friend. Get you out of the tool you're in. We need to add in location dimensions. Right now, these are size dimensions. It's how big the rectangle is. We need to locate it. So I'm going to go to Dimension here. And I'm going to left click this edge of the rectangle. Move my mouse, and then I'm going to left click this edge of my 3D model. And what that does is it adds that location dimension from that edge to the edge of the rectangle. I'm going to left click, and I believe that was 3 millimeters. And right away it moves the entire rectangle over and makes it 3 inches away from that edge, which is this right here. The next thing we need to locate is from the bottom edge up, which is 5 millimeters. So I'm still in the Dimension tool. I'm going to left click this edge of the rectangle. I'm going to move down and I'm going to left click the bottom edge of the 3D model. That should be, what do we say? 5. So I'm going to left click again and type 5. So now my sketch is fully constrained. The rectangle has 2 size dimensions and it's located with 2 location dimensions. I'm going to hit Finish Sketch. And again, we work left to right, so I'm going to extrude. And notice it didn't automatically select what I want to extrude, so I need to tell it what I want to extrude. So I want to click on my rectangle, but I don't want to extrude it. I want to cut it. So I'm going to left click Cut. And I'm going to, instead of typing a distance, I'm going to switch this option here to all. What that means is it cuts through all of the object. So I just changed this drop down to all. And now it cut that rectangle all the way through, and I can click OK. Again, notice my model browser. If I expand both of these, I could see the sketches that I used to create those models. And you can also see the order that I did it. I started with this sketch, I extruded it. Then I did this sketch and I cut it. What I would like you to do is expand both of these and now do a Windows Shift S. Some of you haven't been including the model browser in your screen clips. Please make sure to include the model browser when you screen clip. So that's what I'm looking for right there. And then you're going to go to your OneNote binder, into your 4.2 and 4.3 page, click into here and paste. Whoops. Let me try that again. I think I lost my screen clip. Windows Shift S. Windows Shift come on. Try this again. That. Into here. There we go. Now this thing's gigantic, so I'm going to bring it down a little bit. Make that a little bit smaller. So I can see the picture and I can see the browser. And that's 5 points for doing 4.2.2. In the next video, we are going to do the next one, which is 4.2.3. The other thing you should do at the very end right now is do a save. Everyone do a save. So now that one is saved in your folder. Windows Shift S will screen clip. Windows Shift S.